Gee, it's so nice to be with you this afternoon. April, May, I think this is the best executed, most fun, most professional, near Hall of Fame dinner I have ever been to. Thank you. Brad Leighton won Busch North race after Busch North race after Busch North race, especially at New Hampshire International Speedway and the road courses. Compared to those he beat, out of the car, Leighton was quiet, kept to himself. His rivalry with Dave Dion and Dave's brothers was anything but quiet, and it sold plenty of tickets to the races in which those two guys knocked each other around. They wrecked each other just for the hell of it. And that was okay, because Brad knew how to drive, how to make it go fast, how to get to the finish of the race with a checkered flag waved, even with bent fenders. He told me he was humbled by the fact that he was chosen for this award he was about to receive. Said he was just a backyard racer from New Hampshire. Here's his career stats. They are not at all the stuff of a backyard fellow from Cow Hampshire. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a New England Auto Racing Hall of Fame level record of winning. In his career as a Busch North driver, Brad Leighton won 24 times and earned the championships in 1999 and 2000. He won more Busch North races than any other driver at the series' biggest and most important track, New Hampshire International Speedway. Most years, there were 2 races there. He won both of them on 3 separate occasions, in 1996, 1999, and 2002. He won half of those New Hampshire Speedway races in 2000, 2001, and 2003. He won the 1995 ACT Championship. He won a Beech Ridge Speedway Championship in 1990. When Bob Baer owned New Hampshire Speedway, he crowned annual champions of the local divisions that ran for him. Leighton won 4 of those championships, 1998, 2000, 2001, and 2002. Baer respected guys like Leighton, the local boys that came to the big track and got it done. And Bob had a Christmas time party every year where the champions were given a nice check and a nice trophy. And Brad brought those home. He won features at 19 different racetracks from Canada to Florida, and the list reflects Brad Leighton's versatility. New Hampshire International, Lee USA, Tioga, Beech Ridge, Stafford, Nazareth, Waterford, Thunder Road, Holland in New York, Thompson in Connecticut, Lime Rock, Watkins Glen, Unity in Maine, Airborne, Riverside and Groveton, Oxford Circuit, Riverside in Quebec, Hiawatha in Ontario, and New Smyrna in Florida. Brad Leighton won on New England's biggest track, New Hampshire Speedway, and its smallest tracks, Thunder Road is an example, and on 3 of the Busch North road courses. His record makes it clear that Brad Leighton is one of the top guys in New England auto racing history. He could have gone further in the sport had he not devoted himself to business. So he had it all. Racing wins, racing championships, and a successful business career he built for himself. Brad, congratulations on a wonderful career. You have truly earned your way into the New England Auto Racing Hall of Fame.
Thanks, Dick. That was amazing. Not sure where you get stats, but there's no way I won that many races. But we'll take it. Dick himself, next weekend, is going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame for broadcasting. So Mike as well. So we're all looking forward to that as well. Yeah. It's truly, it's surreal for me. I remember going to Beech Ridge, watching Dick race with the modifieds up there. When he was well known for the scarf flying around his head, most of the time over his eyes based on his racing quality. I had to throw that in there. And no, it's just truly an honor to be here, guys. And there's a lot of time that was put in to get me here. Certainly on the stats part of it. Penny, you're an amazing person. John, I got to hit you with this. Your direction sucked. Took us 35 minutes to find a Bud Light last night. But Penny, what you've done for me and my family and in Grisco racing over a decade has been truly remarkable. And thanks for making me look good on all these, one-liners and et cetera. But so I truly appreciate that, and thanks for being a friend. Congrats to all of the other recipients here. You guys are amazing. I'm not sure. You must have open space for me. So, but you guys are just a truly amazing crowd, and just to hear the stories is certainly rewarding to me to hear very similar situations that I had coming up through my career. I remember I was a little bit older. Didn't have my license, and I was fairly always competitive, doing something, and running lawnmowers or bicycles, racing around the house. And my brother was truly the mechanic of the family, and my dad as well. So my brother was racing snowmobiles on the ice, and I just had to try it. And my dad was a pretty tough guy. We only had a newspaper that came out once a week, and I ran a race that weekend prior, and our paper came out on Wednesday, and I saw my dad reading it, and I'm like, oh man, I'm busted. And they had the stats in there, of course, and he hollers at me, Bradley, yeah, come out here. He says, you can't beat your brother, don't bother racing. I'm like, all right, baby, game on. So, yeah, from there, my brother and dad built cars for me. I am not that mechanically inclined. I'm way better beating them up, aren't I, boys, than I am fixing them. So they did that and built a couple cars. I remember my dad saying, I think I ran the first 2 races and it literally wore out the brakes in the car. And he goes like, you can't win a race with your brakes on. I said, Dad, this car weighs 5,000 pounds. We're racing against guys that 3,000 pounds. We just got to lose a lot of weight. So my brother went to work on that and built the cars for Beach Ridge Motor Speedway, where I really started taking racing a bit more serious. He was an amazing builder. The brotherly love thing. We always fought, but we were fighting for the same thing and didn't realize it. So we ran Beach Ridge for, quite a few years, focused on, winning some championships, and we were successful in that. One night, I remember Bobby Gahan was racing modifieds there as well as the ACT Tour, and he was wanted me to start his modified in the back and just start and stop so he could get the points. So I did that. And we got in the car, and I'm like, holy shit, a motor sticking up front. There's a tiny little windshield. I was pretty scared, frankly. And so I went out and practiced the car, and I did pretty well with it. And his crew, I guess he had 2 guys there that night because it was just start and stop. And he goes, well, if you're comfortable with the car, he says, you don't have to stop. And I said, well, all right. So I remember starting in the back, 20-some cars, and I worked my way up to 3rd, and I rubbed tires with Willie Elliott at the time, and that thing went up on 2 tires, and I hit the pits real quick. And so long story, Gardner and June Levitt happened to be there, and they saw me, and they asked me if I had any interest in running the ACT Tour, and I'm like, sure. I mean, I just came out of a street stock. So I guess my point is if I took my whole career as I look at it now, and I just was very careful surrounding myself with really, really good people and much more talented than I am. And then with my parents, my dad and brother, and certainly with Gardner and June, we had some success. We won Rookie of the Year, and I guess we ran a couple years with them, and then it was we were in Mossport, Canada, and it was pouring rain out. I remember it, and they had pit stop. Curly had pit stop challenges back then because he ran the stop pot. So whatever team he wanted to win won, but that's okay. So it was raining, and I looked over to my far right, and there was this huge umbrella with these two tall people, and it happened to be the Griswolds, Steve and Peg, and they offered me underneath the umbrella, and we sat there and chatted for, God, I don't know, Peg, maybe 40 minutes. Happiest rainstorm I ever sat through. And they both were asking what my passion and desire was. And I'm like, at this point, I hadn't won a race. I'm like, I just want to win a race. So they decided they would potentially have two race teams. So we had to put a second team together. And I think at that point, Stan Reserve had decided to resign from being the tech, and Brian and Carl Osher from Fairfax, Vermont, were they were teching for Curly, but I knew they were Robbie Crouch's crew, and I'm thinking, all right, surround yourself with very successful people. So I asked these guys if they wanted to go back racing, and thankfully they did. So we put that team together, Grisco Racing, and had a lot of success with that. There's no question. And I want to thank you guys for coming today. We had so many good memories. Some we can't talk about, but it was great. But I got to tell you, I had no idea the impact of that rainy day delay was going to be on my life. Met Peg and Steve. They just taught me trust, honor, respect. It was just an amazing relationship we continue to have. And you mentored me through everything. It's been so amazing. And both of my boys are here today, and they've seen all that, and it's just infectious. It really is. And now I lost my spot. This is bullshit. So we lost Steve on February 10th, 2013. And there was just something, the wind came out of my sail like you read about. And I quickly realized it wasn't the laps we led, the championships we fought for. It was more about people, surrounding yourself with the right people. So we're still here today, blessed with Peg, such an amazing woman. And I just want to thank you, Peg, for everything you've done for me and my family. It's been amazing. It continues to be. However, my tax bill is way higher than it was before I met you. I'm actually pretty nervous up here. I don't know why. It's like, I feel like I'm at my 8th grade spelling bee. When they asked me to spell race, I tried to buy 2 vowels. It didn't work out. Part of that, my decision to back out of racing a little bit. I know I was offered a race once, and Lynn, my biggest supporter, couldn't come because our oldest son, Nick, was in a championship playoff for baseball, and her and I were back and forth on the phone. And back then, it wasn't as easy as it is today, so it was a little pain. But long story short, Nick ended up winning the championship and scoring the winning run, and that's just it was just a hollow part in my heart. So I knew at that point it was time to spend some time focusing more on business, and certainly as much as I could with the family. And thanks for not following in my footsteps. Man, oh man, I might be able to retire now. And Brenty, my youngest, I remember he had a short stint in go-karts. We were at Beach Ridge, which is my home track, and my boys over there and gals were we were there for the bush race, and you guys came up a night early, and Brent ended up winning. Way more talent than I ever had, and my boys, they all rushed him, right? And he's like, "Oh my God!" So during the week, he goes, "Dad, I don't really want to race anymore." I'm like, "Dude, you just want to race. It's like your second race." He goes, "Yeah, I just want to practice." He doesn't like the limelight. It's just kind of a quiet, says a few words, means what he says, and it's just really proud of you, man. You've done it, and congratulations on your new venture. He proposed to his girl Friday, so yeah. Did I mention girl? So we're not paying for the wedding. Nick, dude, you weren't even 20. You wrecked 2 cars and burned one. Thank God you didn't follow that. So, I guess one of my most memorable races was Nick spotted for me at Leighton, and I'm sitting there on the front stretch with my guys, and I'm thinking, what the hell is wrong with you? This kid's spotting. He's just wrecked 2 cars and burned one. This is not going to work out. So we did a great job. We ended up winning that race, and the last lap, he just said, bring it home, Pops. And I just truly cried in my helmet. I was actually a little mad because you said it too early. We had like a half a lap to go, but that was a pretty special moment for me, Nick. I probably never shared that with you. No. Lynn, my sister told you 37 years ago to run. I thought he was smarter than that. What a friend. What a love. What a soulmate. What a supporter. Just a really, really nice person that, I'm so honored to be your husband. It's just amazing. The honesty part could have been a little bit lighter on the ride home, though, from the races. Let's face it, she sided one night with Dion. Well, that really wasn't his fault. Baloney. So, I want to thank my guys that came. Really means a lot to me. Guys, I had no idea you were coming. I thought I had table 24 with no one in it. Cheap date, though, let's face it. Again, in closing, there was and continue to be so many more talented drivers than me. I've been so fortunate and blessed to have opportunities, as you heard, racing with my family. Gardner and June saw me, and Steve and Peg, and just it went on and on and on. It just segued into what ended up being tonight, which is I truly mean this. You guys I'm with quite a crowd, and I'm honored to be part of the family now. So if I forgot anybody or anything, I do apologize, because she told me only take 10 minutes. So, and what a great job here tonight, guys. Thank you. Well, it takes him 4 hours to put his rings on.